Facebook.com/New Rules New York.
Lovebird Records presents the newly released tribute album from Keith Cole entitled Rock With Me. It's 13 tracks including the astute cover of Delroy Wilson's Who Cares?
Who cares? Who is right or wrong? Right.
Keith Cole also sings homage to Jabi Bunny Wailer.
How does it feel to have been on the ballroom floor?
This newly released 13-track tribute album is readily available in record stores and on all digital platforms. It's the brand new album Rock With Me from Keith Cole. Pick up a copy today and help play tribute to these icons in reggae music.
Rock with me, baby. Rock with me, baby.
Yeah. CB Jerk Center, 150 West 3rd Street, Mount Vernon, New York. Dine-in or takeout available. Call us 646-294-3939 or 917-870-4088. We're open Monday to Thursday, 8 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 1:30 a.m. Sundays, 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. On Fridays and Saturdays, our seafood weekend starts from 11 o'clock. Check out our extensive breakfast and lunch menu. For breakfast, we have ackee and saltfish, corned beef and cabbage, callaloo and saltfish, corned beef and macaroni, liver or kidney, curry chicken back, brown stew chicken back, cook up saltfish, salt mackerel. Also check out our lunch specials: oxtail, cow foot, stew pork, tripe and beans, stew peas, jerk pork, jerk chicken, fried chicken, stew chicken, barbecue ribs, curry chicken, curry goat, pepper steak, escovitch fish, brown stew fish, and roast fish, jerk pork with bread, jerk chicken with bread. Plus, we have catering services available. Call us 646-294-3939 or 917-870-4088. We also have delivery services with Uber and DoorDash. Check us out on Instagram at CB_Jerk Center. Call us 646-294-3939 or 917-870-4088. CB Jerk Center, 150 West 3rd Street, Mount Vernon.
Honey, you know, I just get a call from Mama again. She told me she haven't received the barrel as yet. Which shipping company do you use to send it off?
We use the same company. When we used last year, no. I want to do now.
You say, honey, you know you drink too much. I bet definitely your mother you'd use the right company.
Simpson Shipping Enterprise. Weekly sailing to all destinations. In Jamaica, they go to Kingston and Montego Bay. Also ship to Europe and South America, East Africa, New Zealand, and Australia. We offer door-to-door service to Jamaica, Guyana, and England. Simpson Shipping Enterprise, 17 Mount Vernon Avenue, New York. Telephone 914-663-9216 or 914-663-9218.
Yeah, go on like a yeah, mama. You feel me, mama? I me tell you something. You see Simpson Shipping? Then go Jamaica, Kingston, and Montego Bay, all over the Caribbean Islands.
You're locked on to the number one radio station. Number one radio station.
They play the best music.
Number one. The best music. For your listening pleasure.
When you are hungry, come to Kulu Runnings Restaurant. Located at 1802 Near Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx, we specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Kulu Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
Hi, I'm Lady D Denise Gomez, and I have exciting interview segments and features inside the zone. For recording artists, you can sing. Well, Inside the Zone, second Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. is for you. Writers, share your story, no man. In broadcasting from the Author Zone on Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Mail Zone has unbelievably juicy stories of love, heartbreak, and triumph. 7 p.m. has never been this good. On Mondays, it's news, talk, engaging features at 7 in the Monday Drive. And Center Stage has everyone talking on Thursdays. Be a part of the show. Email me insidethezone@gmail.com or call me 914-304-2592.
Well, another Thursday. Woo. Man, the days have just literally flown. Not only that, anybody ever use the word ungle? You know, is ungle me one? Oh, Thursday. What's going on? It feels so good to be here another Thursday with you on Center Stage. If you're tuning in from your home, your office, your motor car, perhaps you're in a barbershop, you're in a deli, you have gone to visit someone at the hospital, or you're a patient in the hospital, or you're perhaps walking on the street and said to yourself, I feel peckish, I feel like I'd like to have something to eat. Then stop on by Cooler Runnings Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. Welcome. I am your producer and presenter, Lady D. Denise Gomez. That's my name. Yeah, that's my name. Did I tell you I love my name? And, you know, my name is Denise. But when I was a child growing up, I looked so much like my dad. I thought they should have named me Victoria. If I were named Victoria, perhaps you would call me Vicky or something like that, you know? that didn't happen. So my name is Denise. Lordy, lordy, lordy. How are you doing, everyone? I hope the past few days have been doing very well for you, or rather going very well for you. 19 minutes after 6 o'clock. Welcome to Inside the Zone, the community platform where information is guaranteed. Broadcasting on Linkage Radio 104.5, 101.7, and 104.5 too. On the TuneIn app for Linkage Radio and Fastcast, the number 4 capital U.com. Fastcast4u.com and Caribbean Vibes Radio Network, www.caribbeanvibesradio.com. And Touch FM Radio 90.1. Not to mention my YouTube channel, Inside the Zone with Lady D. Hop on over if you feel like and just watch me live. I hope you're ready for Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. Because it promises to be good this evening. 20 minutes after 6 o'clock. How are you doing? It's a good day. It's Thursday. Cooler runnings, cooler runnings, cooler runnings. Stop by or give them a call, 718-324-7484. 718-324-7484. Inside the Zone is a culture-centric radio program that connects the Jamaican diaspora and international audiences globally. The show's content captures its people's social, cultural, and collective views on issues that affect their communities. For example, family, health, finance, education, immigration, housing, wealth management, life and health insurance, real estate, and food insecurity. On Monday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. and Thursday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Right here on Linkage Radio, Inside the Zone. Coming up in a few minutes, we get our praise on in Inspirational Zone. In News Zone, it's a rebroadcast of the news courtesy of the Jamaica Information Service. Music Zone today, it is Calypso Music Thursday. And at 7 o'clock, I do have, my What's Inside the Zone. We'll be talking something, but I do have my pop question for you today. Pop question, think about it. By the time the segment rolls in, you'll be ready to answer me. It's a pop question today. It's my 4th Thursday. Ladies, if a man says to a woman, you have far beauty, or if somebody says something about a woman like, she have far beauty, what does that mean? What are they telling you? Have you ever heard the term far beauty? I heard that in my community growing up, in Penance, in Clarendon. And at 7 o'clock, What's Inside the Zone? Yard Talk. Jamaican words and phrases. Delving into that a little bit. Then at 7:30 p.m., Jamaican on the Track. Looking back and in the future. Lord, this afternoon was so good. I was in Budapest today, and it was so good. So I do have scoop on that for you, as we'll be talking about athletics. Remember Herb McKinley, Arthur Wendt, Donald Quarry, Ben Johnson, a host of people, Merlene, and now you have young people who are just so amazing. You look at them and say, how did they do this? How do you do it? 24 minutes after 6 o'clock, so I'm ready to go. So welcome, everyone. We have to get our praise on this evening. Can't start the show without getting our praise on. So good evening. Welcome, everyone. 914-297-8911. 914-297-8911. That's our telephone number.
Oh, Jesus, you fight my battles for me, yeah, and it's already won. God, you're my refuge, and you are my strength. You are my fortress, and you're my help. Oh God, you're my refuge, and you are my strength. You are my fortress, and you're my help. So as my enemy
That's Rayon Ball, The Battle Is Won, featuring Glacier Robinson. Didn't you love that? Were you just swaying from side to side and saying, yes, Lord, the battle is already won. I'm here. You'll be carrying me through. What were you saying as you heard the song? Sometimes I'm curious. As we play different selections here, we sometimes try to visualize what you're doing, or perhaps you're wondering what we're doing or what we look like, and because it's radio, unless you're on the YouTube channel and you're seeing me but I can't see you, so that's also another matter. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. 6:29 p.m. I'm on time. I'm on target. Yeah, it's a beautiful Thursday. Some showers came down today and sort of cool us down a little bit, and looking forward to September. Then October, then November, then December, then January, February. I believe I had shared this story, which I will not get into now, about the very, very first trip I made to this country, like first time touching on the U.S. soil. I'll have to give you that. I wonder if I shared it with you. I don't remember, but I did on Saturday morning running. So welcome to the show. 6:30 p.m. I'd like to say blessings, bless up, howdy, and hope you're all glued to your radio right now, or your phone or something. Some of you can't move from out of the kitchen. If not, you won't hear it by the time you get to the living room. All kinds of challenges, but you manage. 914-297-8911. 914-297-8911. I have memorized the number. Pat me on my shoulder. I have memorized the number. It's now time for News Zone, a rebroadcast of the news, courtesy of the Jamaica Information Service.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, August 24, 2023. The Ministry of Education and Youth has allocated $440 million to fund critical repair and maintenance activities in 125 schools for the 2023-2024 academic year. Portfolio Minister Favour Williams gave the update as she addressed delegates during the Jamaica Teachers Association, JTA's 59th annual conference on Wednesday. $165 million is budgeted to close 23 contracts carried out from the last fiscal year.
We will be spending $65 million for maintenance and renovation projects in 7 schools, and a total of $210 million has been set aside to carry out critical repairs in 95 schools for termite treatment, electrical repairs to bathroom and roof repair, with $30 million dispersed to each region to help to manage these projects.
$244 million is also allocated for electrical upgrading projects in 47 schools, and another $73 million for fencing works in 56 institutions. The minister also revealed interventions to ensure better access for students with special needs. 32 schools with special needs students have been identified, and of that number, new ramps are required for 24 institutions, while additional ramps need to be constructed at 8 schools.
So far, 22 schools have been visited. 12 of those are at the point where the work will go to tender shortly, and so on. And we are moving apace to ensure that there are no impediments, no physical impediments to our special needs students to get to their classes.
Meanwhile, high schools have received funding totaling $97 million to procure furniture items based on their needs. The education minister says furniture distribution has already started for primary level schools, while many more are being distributed this month.
At the primary level schools, 1,400 pieces of furniture, which is student desks and chairs, were dispatched to regions 1, 2, and 4 based on requests and needs. 74 pieces of teachers' desks and chairs were dispatched dispatched to Region 5. 3,800 pieces of furniture were scheduled to be dispatched during August here to other regions.
Minister Williams adds that the furniture repair program remains active with 11 schools engaged.
We also continue to have an active program of creating new desks and chairs across several of our schools. So based on the framework agreement that the ministry has embarked on, 16,000 pieces of furniture are being manufactured, and they should be completely distributed by August 28.
In other education news, the ministry is attempting to address the math problem in the classroom by providing first-class, cutting-edge math education training to teachers. This is partially being done through the International Conference on Math Teaching, which is in its 6th year and is being hosted by Jamaica. The two-day conference, which began yesterday, is allowing hundreds of educators to participate in meaningful math discussions and share insights. Minister of State in the Ministry of Education and Youth, Marcia Smith, says government is also partnering with teacher training colleges by providing scholarships to attract more student teachers focusing on math skills.
We are also pushing to have more students embracing courses in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and maths, STEM, to be more competitive in the 21st century global economy.
The International Conference on Math Teaching is jointly organized by Book Merchants in Jamaica and Scholastic International, which has its global headquarters in New York. 88 special needs students enrolled in the Ministry of Labor and Social Security's Early Stimulation Program, ESP, have been provided with school supplies for the upcoming academic year. The donation was made possible by the Digicel Foundation. The students were provided with school bags containing books, crayons, rulers, sharpeners, and other stationery supplies. Labor and Social Security Minister Pernell Charles Jr. has praised the Digicel Foundation for the donation, which he says should help to ease the financial difficulties of parents preparing for the new school year.
But I think beyond that, I speak on behalf of the parents in saying that it resonates more than just financial support. It shows there are persons who care. Someone cares, and we're not in this alone.
The handover ceremony took place recently at the Stimulation Plus Child Development Center on Hanover Street in downtown Kingston. Digicel Foundation Communications and Digital Media Officer Kadisha Clark says the annual donation of school supplies is one facet of the organization's long-standing relationship with the Early Stimulation Program.
ESP not only provides educational opportunities for these children, but also a nurturing environment.
The Early Stimulation Program operates from 4 centers, 2 in the Kingston metropolitan region and 1 each in Portland and St. James. And finally, the Heart Foundation of Jamaica, HFJ, is encouraging increased awareness about the life-saving technique cardiopulmonary resuscitation as the country celebrates CPR Week 2023 from August 21 to 25. The theme for this year's observance is When Seconds Count, Count on CPR. Among the awareness activities marking the week was a cardiac care symposium held virtually on Wednesday. A family and friends CPR course will round off the week's activities on Saturday, August 26. It will be held at the Heart Foundation's office on Beechwood Avenue, Kingston 5, where persons will be taught how to do CPR at a cost of $2,000.
What do you do if someone is in need of your help? You're on the bus, you're in a taxi, wherever you are, and someone seems as though they've stopped breathing or they don't have a pulse. How do you carry out yourself? How do you pump the chest? Are you pumping too hard, or is this adequate? Do you give breaths? How do you do, and what do you do, and how long?
Persons are encouraged to contact the Heart Foundation to register and get additional information. Visit their office or call 876-926-4378 or 619-7007-8. You can also WhatsApp 876-334-4998 or send an email to info@heartfoundationja.org. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
So good afternoon to everyone. Welcome. It is Calypso Music Thursday. Hello. So you know I mix up a little of this and a little of that. Good evening, AG. I'm trying to get AG to come to Budapest with me. So by the time she got in today, I had already landed back in the States.
Yeah, so girl, I love all the way you blow my mind. Hold me tight and bring down wine. Hello. Lord, are you ready? Are you ready for it? Are you ready? Are you ready for it? You want give me that? No hold back, wind it up, right there, front to the back, no long chat. Just come to me, I'll give you that sweet type of love. Sweet type of love, come give me that sweet type of love, real type of love. Hold me, darling. Cause all night we jamming. Super Links. I want give it to ya. 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 I want give it to ya, baby. I want give it to ya, honey. I want give it to ya, sweetheart. I want give it to ya. Where you whine it, turn me on. Like the mountain I overcome. Whine it so sweet, had to beg for some. Come give me some sweetness, darling. Pon the roll like a brand new car. Pop your string like a Bogota. Weak connection, raise the temperature. Come give me some sweetness, darling. Hold it, cause she getting on, cause she in a heat when I turn the pressure on. Oh gosh, turn it on. Oh gosh. Hold it, cause she getting on, cause she in a heat. She
6:41 p.m. Good evening. Center stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. It's Calypso Music Thursday. Here on Inside the Zone. My name. Lady D. Denise Gomez. Soca. Calypso. Music Thursday.
You're now listening to an official Oso City mix.
Oso
Rico.
Okay. Beautiful Thursday. Inside the Zone. Calypso. Did you know that when some people go out, they don't dance until Calypso music come on? And they call for the DJ to pull it up. And they do some Calypso moves from some long time ago. But Calypso have moves though. Yes, man, people create all kinds of moves. You never know. You stay there. Oh, you didn't know? Huh. Yes, bro. Yes, master. Yes, missus. Coming up at 6:45 p.m.
No, they can't drink like we. None of them can fit like we.
My pop question. Pop question. Far Beauty. What is that? Somebody says to a lady, or if a man says to a lady, you know, you have far beauty. Or, you know, say she only have far beauty. What do they mean by that? Have you ever heard the term? I'd like to hear from you. What do you think far beauty means? 914-297-8899. 8911. That's our new telephone number. 914-297-8911. I had to come up with an accent for this one. 8911. 6:44 p.m. At Thursday, the center stage.
And I could tell you what me to. I feel you. I could feel your love and push. I feel you. Just say you want me to. You need to. You wind up on me. You push up on me. You twist up on me. I could tell that you want me. You bend your back and push back and bubble up and wind up. I know you want me. I know you want me. I know you want me. And I like it like this.
1 minute to go. 1 minute to my pop question. You know what that is? Far beauty. The girl they have far beauty. What is that? What they mean by that? What do you think? It's now 6:45, so I'll keep my soca thing going on in the background. I don't want to turn it off until we start talking. 914-297-8911. I'd like to hear from you. So, when I was growing up in Penance, right, I hear all kinds of phrase and nickname and things like that. And I could have never for the life of me understand why. So I will not be accepting any responses from the YouTube channel. There is a telephone number that I'd like my audience to call me on. 914-297-8911. 914-297-8911. So you would hear people make mention of people in a certain way. Sometimes derogatory, sometimes complimentary, you know. But man, if they see certain kind of people, they would say, "Oh my God," and they say something and say, "Oh, a far beauty she have, man. You know." And oh Lordy, what do you think that means? Let me know. 914-297-8911. That's my pop question this evening on Center Stage.
When you put on your crown,
Give me a call. Let me hear from you. 914-297-8911. Far beauty.
no constellation in the sky could ever take your shine. I'll travel a million miles.
And you know, at between 7:20, 7:30, I'll kick off my segment to wrap up the show that I call Jamaicans on the Track. We can run, you know. We can run. It's what they give us to drink again.
So certified, cut me back one time when you give me that fast line, fast line, fast line, fast line, fast line, fast line. Take my boat to the dockside and anchor down by the bedside. Give me that fast line.
And I'm telling you at 6:47 p.m. So 914. Wait, what happened here? Nobody don't know the term. Far beauty. 914-297-8911. 914-297-8911. Let me hear from you. I won't share the results unless I don't get a call for this segment. Seriously. But I'd also like to remind you that the show is brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. And they do have their mentoring Fridays. So if you'd like to go by and sit in the session as they discuss different positives and negatives that surround our young people. You have young people there, and you do have specially invited presenters each week, and they share their story and encourage and impart some uplifting words of encouragement and messages to the young people. So I'd like to say kudos to Cargill Community. That's the 501c3 nonprofit organization that's also part of Cooler Running. So that's tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Please support. I want to say good evening. Let me do my roll call, but before I do the roll call, let me take a call here because I'm wondering what's going on over here. So, good evening to you. Welcome to Center Stage. It's my pop question segment, Far Beauty.
Good evening, Lady D.
Hey there, Miss Pat. How are you?
And all my friends. Yes. How are you today?
I am good. You know, I'm not complaining. I have hair on my head. I can see.
You're so funny.
Oh, right, because somebody right now don't have any hair for some reason or another. So I better I better be thankful. Yes, Pat. Good to hear
so
you
much
as always.
to be thankful for. As I had placed in the chat, I've never heard the term before.
Oh, Far Beauty.
I never heard the term before. No.
So
never did.
All right, so visualize.
I'm going to take a shot
Take
at
a
it.
shot.
I'm going to
Take a
shot.
shot
At it. Is it someone who is beyond beautiful, a woman who is beyond beautiful?
That's not what I'm looking for. No.
Okay. Or does the woman look beautiful only from afar?
There you go.
Oh, that's it.
That's it. People, there are some people that, some people say, and some men, will say that, you never realize, say, when she come up to you, you see, say, she not so good looking.
Wow.
Or him not so handsome.
Wow.
Right? So, yes.
Okay.
So, but from a distance, they say they look very appealing and attractive.
Yes.
But by the time they get closer to you, them say, but
closer to you.
They say, no,
Wow.
sir.
Well, I learned something today. Every day we're supposed to learn something new, and today is my day of learning.
Absolutely. So you can say you Lady D gave you a pop question.
Oh, yes. Oh,
today?
Yes, definitely. Okay.
Thank you, Pat.
All right. I'm not going to take up any more time because I know others will be calling in.
No
so
problem.
Continue doing what you do best.
I try. Thank you. Okay. Yes, man. Far Beauty. So, here now. So now, all they're saying is that for some people, is only when you reach close to them, your sister, they're not all that appealing. People out of order, though. Look at it. Real. Look at it.
Move your body to the beat, yeah. Love me.
So, that's my pop question. So, all those who didn't know, yes, Ryan. So, Ann White. Good evening, Ann. How are you? Ann says, physical, attractive, a beautiful woman inside and out. That's not the one we were looking for, Ann, but I thank you for participating. And who else had given me? Okay. Okay. So Ryan had said she looked good from afar. That's it. That's your pop question this evening. 6:53 p.m. Good evening, everybody. It's a good day. Welcome. Don't forget, if you want to talk to me, because I want to talk to you. Yeah. So we want to talk this evening. But I also want to give you a little insight, man, as to what we saw today in Budapest. I had to hurry from Budapest to get here, I tell you. So let me give you a little scoop. Jamaica's Rochelle Clayton on Thursday, which is today, copped the bronze medal in the women's 400-meter hurdles at the 19th staging of the World Athletics Championships in Budapest, Hungary. Clayton, who also won bronze at the 2019 staging of the championships in Doha, Qatar, dipped under 53 seconds for the first time, running a personal best of 52.81 for bronze. Today was a good day for us, I tell you. And then now let me also take you. Her compatriots, Geneve Russell, 54.28, and Andronette Knight, 55.20, finished 7th and 8th, respectively. The overwhelming favorite Femke Bol of the Netherlands won the event in 51.70, while America's Shamir Little claimed the silver in a season's best of 52.8. Yeah, then now let's see. Take you over to the 400-meter champion after a 40-year wait. We waited 40 years to win again. Oh my God. Locks. So, decades after Jamaica's first gold medal in the men's 400-meter, Antonio Watson was crowned champion in the event at the World Athletics Championship at the National Athletics Center in Budapest. I love their stadium. Oh, my. The architectural design, it's just nice and clean and clear. You can actually look across. Nice. Have you all been watching? I guess maybe because I was an athlete and I love track and field and sports, you know. But man, Watson was, yes, I'm sorry. Alrighty, so of course he won. They call him the lion-hearted 21-year-old. Powered to 44.22 seconds to win his nation's first gold in the event in 4 decades. Bert Cameron was the first Jamaican to achieve this feat at the inaugural staging of the World Athletics Championships back in Helsinki, Finland. Guess how long ago? In 1983. It was a good day for Jamaica. Anywhere we are, anywhere we did, wherever we are. Yeah, man, it was a good day. Meanwhile, his fellow countryman, Sean Bailey, finished 5th in 44.96 seconds. European record holder Matthew Hudson Smith of Great Britain claimed silver in 44.31, while America's Quincy Hall won the bronze in a personal best of 44.37. World record holder Wade Van Niekerk of South Africa finished 7th in 45.11, while former world champion Kirani James of Grenada, unfortunately, he was disqualified for lane infringement. That happens sometimes, you know. So, taking you also to my third and final in this feature here. So, Danielle Williams stuns field to win 100-meter hurdles gold, just as she did at the Beijing World Championships in 2015. Jamaica's Danielle Williams stunned the field to win gold in the women's 100-meter hurdles at the National Athletics Center in Budapest, Hungary on Thursday. Williams had a brilliant run from lane 1, storming to season's best of 12.43 seconds for the gold medal. Her compatriot Akira Nugent finished 5th in 12.61 seconds. Puerto Rico's Jasmine Camacho Quinn won the silver medal with a time of 12.44, while the bronze went to former world record holder Kendra Harrison of America in 12.46. Yes, it was a good day for us. So I have the Peacock app. So that's how I can watch it on my phone or pull it up on the desktop or wherever. Yep. And I watch and work. And I'm not getting carried away. I work. and watch at the same time. Whenever these championships come around and they end, I feel a little out of sorts. Seriously, I'm like, oh Lord, I don't have it to watch today. You know, when it ends, because you look forward to seeing the athletes and all that global attention that, you know, they're given at the championships. It's amazing. That's all I can say. So we are rooting for athletes and all the athletes in general, because without that competitive spirit, and just so we know, somebody can't win for the whole time. There's going to be somebody who is going to step up their game and beat somebody else, right? Yep. So what can I say? It was a good day. So it's now a minute to 7 o'clock, and I'd like to welcome you. If you're just joining the program, my name is Denise Lady D. Gomez, and of course I am the host and producer of this show, Inside of the Zone. My sponsor is Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, and they're situated at 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx, New York. If you're planning to visit the Bronx at any time and you're listening to me outside of New York and you're taking a trip over, please don't hesitate to have someone drive you by 1802 Nereid Avenue and say, come taste the food, it tastes good, right? And you can let them know, you know, I hear it on Lady D's show. Yes, you did. Okay, so please, it's now 7 o'clock. Good evening and welcome everyone to my second feature here for the show this evening in my What's Inside the Zone Yard Talk. Jamaican words and phrases. So I just walked you through the pop question, right? We talked about far beauty. So that was that. But you know, we're full of phrases already. And all kind of words come from somewhere, mean something. So I have a brief segment on this for you. And then we'll be getting into our sports talk and thing about, you know, athletics from how far back to going forward, that kind of thing. So I'm hoping that everything is going well. Okay. So again, good evening to you, and you. So welcome everyone. All right, let me take you to the first thing. So, you know, in some of these words and phrases, you do have nouns, and you have to, and what they say again, noun is a doing word. So they taught us something like that, right? So in Jamaican patois, most of our language inventions are nouns. It helps that we have very colorful ways of describing people, right? Places and things we dislike, as you will see as we're talking here this evening. So I hear the term, it's not something I use, but I hear it. People say earth strong. The word earth strong. That's for your birthday, you know, if they're telling me, so especially, you know, there are some groups of people that use that term. So the word earth strong is brought to us by a prominent religious and cultural group in Jamaica, the Rastafarians. It literally means birthday and is especially used by men wishing their male friends or relatives a happy birthday. It is not as commonly said to women or used by women. That's true. Say, bless upon your earth strong, you know. You've heard that term. Perhaps you've also used it, right? You never know. Let me take you to something else that you perhaps know or didn't know. So I'm here for you. Now, I'm sorry. So we also hear this term, oh dear, Joe grind, right? In your community, wherever you're from the Caribbean soil somewhere, there must be somebody in your community who they call Joe grind. Sometimes spelled as Joe, G-R-I-N-E, but it's Joe with a G-R-I-N-D, right? You've heard the term. Refers to the man on the side. He keeps a safe distance from the boyfriend or husband, but knows who they are. It may also be used to refer to a guy who has a reputation of being the man on the side, or who may be trying to Jim Screechy a woman away from her man. So you all know that term, Joe Grind. Okay. Now what about this one? I was never called that, but I've heard it. Pretty dunce. Pretty dunce. A pretty dunce is the Jamaican equivalent of a dumb blonde. She's very attractive, but doesn't know the difference between there, which is THERE, and DEAR. There and dear. And can't find Germany on a map. Pretty much they're saying she's not smart, right? Now, pickney. Pickney is commonly used to refer to a child in the same way Americans use the word kid. Now, I personally, that's not my thing. I will say children, child, pickney, but you'd hardly ever hear me use the word kid. That's just not my thing. I don't say kid, but you do, maybe. Brought up, see. Brought up, see. You don't have no brought up, see. When somebody tells you you don't have no brought up, see, what exactly are they saying? You don't have no brought up, see. It's amazing how we use words. Owing to our British roots, proper etiquette is very important in Jamaica. That means little things like saying please and thank you, greeting people when you meet them, and understanding boundaries in a home. Since this behavior tends to depend on how a pickney was brought up, we inevitably refer to this as brought up see. So somebody might say, you don't have no brought up see. If you walk into a room, you don't say howdy do, you don't greet people, you're just rough. Brought up see, right? Mama man, mama man. Who is a mama man? Anybody want to tell me? Mama man is often used to describe a man who deliberately refuses to take care of his responsibilities due to laziness and lack of ambition. Okay, so that's a mama man for you. Then we've heard the term sketel or mantle. Sketel. Lord have mercy. When you hear people use certain phrases, it's about people, you know. A sketel is a sexually promiscuous woman, usually with a reputation for loose morals, and often with gold-digging intentions. Her less commonly referred to male equivalent is a mantle. See there now? All right, so we know the term gallis. I'm a gallis. You know that terminology, don't you? A gallis is the updated word millennials use in place of mantle. It refers to a guy who is smooth and usually gets his way with the ladies. It doesn't carry the negative connotation mantle does, but naturally, no respectable Jamaican woman is looking to settle down with a gallis. Okay. Now, butu or butocrat. I'm just sharing these things with you. You know, you can tell me if you know them. A butu is someone who lacks brought-up-see and is stereotypically either from the ghetto or the countryside, so people think. According to Jamaica patois, a butu is a person who has little or no social graces or manners. Being a butu is completely independent of your social class. Professor Rex Nettleford once correctly said a butu is a Benz, is still a butu. A butu in a Benz. I love that. Is still a butu. All right, winding down in a few minutes. How has it been going for you, my listening and viewing audience? All righty. So, here's another one. Hatta claps or bangarang. Hatta claps. A lot of foreign artists use the term bangarang in their music, and I've always wondered if they knew what it meant. Like it's Brother Hatta claps. Bangarang refers to a trouble or disturbance. This can either be a loud noise or someone who is up to no good. Good evening to you. How are you? Welcome.
Welcome. So, what would you say about the late president of Pakistan, Ali Bhutto?
That's his name.
So you have Ali Button and you have Ali Bhutto.
No, it's so a friend used a word one on me yesterday, no, and me no remember if a Hutupek, either
maybe
Hutupek or I couldn't remember it, but anyway, when you hear,
but you know what's a Hutupek?
What is a Hutupek? No, because sometimes you have to ask.
Hutupek. It's kind of like okay, let me see if we use it and you hear the context. Boy, they're out to pick. Go from there.
Right.
Boy, they would be like man or nothing.
Man or nothing. Okay. Okay.
Out to pick.
No substance, I guess. Okay. Yeah. Out to pick. Or Poor Show Great.
Who?
You know Poor Show Great?
No, never heard that one.
So Poor Show Great is the one them who, you look like you have either money or things are going for you, but nothing really now going.
Oh, okay. But I've never heard the term anyway. Yeah, but another serious note while I have you. You see, while we're here talking about using proverbs and Jamaican vernacular proverbs, the whole thing about you lie with dogs, you rise with flea. So you have this black guy named Harrison Floyd, who is the former executive director of Black Voices for Trump, who is also a part of the criminal enterprise.
Right.
Now he's languishing in jail because he can't post bail.
See, they know nobody to help him out.
Correct, and he's the only black in there and the only one who gonna spend at least tonight in the notorious Rice.
Oh.
Notorious jail where they are.
Oh dear.
Serve him right.
He wanted to be a part of that elite group.
The in crowd, correct.
Yeah. But he
and
didn't work
he has become a part of the infamous elite group now. And him going to spend time at least tonight in there.
Oh dear. That's
and he's the only black one.
Very unfortunate. Sure.
Yeah, but them get what them deserve.
Indeed.
Don't. Trump is toxic and radioactive. Don't go around him. Leave that man alone.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
So the sports segment is coming up in a few. I look forward to chatting with you on that as well.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, DL.
Okay, good.
Okay, bye-bye. All righty. 914-297-8911. It's one of those days. It is my Calypso Music Thursday. Want to say hello to everyone tuning in. I see AG. So AG, what you said here now, that word. Which one of the word? I'm wrapping up this segment now. I have 3 minutes to do so. Carouches. Pack up your carouches, them, and leave me, please. Or move your carouches, them. Or over there so full of so much carouches. Carouches usually refers to junk, but not always literally. For instance, a person traveling with a lot of bags may describe those bags as carouches. It can be an offensive way to refer to people's things. So to keep the peace, it's best to use it jokingly and refer to your own belongings. Then sus. How much of us like to sus? Sus, yeah. As commonly happens, the word sus has made it into the British slang. But they still use it much differently than we do. The British use it to mean realizing or understanding something. But in Jamaica, Sus refers to gossip and scandalous rumors. You all know that. Don't it? Pengeleng. Pengeleng. Pengeleng or Teely. So, while we're on the topic of sex, I suppose now is a good time as any to refer to male genitalia. Pengeleng refers to adult male genitalia, while Teely usually refers to oh, help me. Usually refers to a small boy's. If you want to insult a Jamaican man, ask him about If you want to insult a Jamaican man, ask him about his teely. These words are more often used by generations preceding millennials and in rural areas. I'm sorry. Oh, Jesus. Oh, that was good. They didn't even give a better description. 1 minute to go. Okay. Dryland tourist. Dryland tourist. Dryland tourist. A dryland tourist refers to a Jamaican who is tush and pretends to be a foreigner by mimicking a foreign accent, especially around tourists. They have typically never left the island before, but want to be perceived as cultured and sophisticated. You know some of those, right? When you go on the North Coast, South Coast, East Coast, West Coast, and you hear these people talking to the foreign people, them, you wonder why they bother. Just talk normal, no? Talk the way you talk. Don't put on too much H. Held it. Don't put on no H where it no belong. No O where it no belong. Oh my gosh, so that's another matter. Dryland tourist. But that's how we wrap up this evening segment here. I had a good laugh a while ago. Yard talk, Jamaican words and phrases. I hope you enjoyed it. Perhaps the Teely part will be forever the takeaway, because I see somebody mentioning it in the oh Lord, help me this evening. So we're gonna take a quick break and I'll be right back. Good evening, everyone. It's Thursday. It's Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. And I'm so looking forward to be connecting with you wherever you are this evening. Just know that we have so much to do and so little time. And that's what I like about Inside the Zone. You know, I can bring you different features and still walk away with something. But good evening to those of you who are tuning in for the very first time. I'd like to welcome you, but I'd also like you to know that on Mondays I am broadcasting in Jamaica. Did you know that?
This is Lady D, Denise Gomez, host and producer of Inside the Zone in New York, the community platform where information is guaranteed. Join me on Mondays at 5 on Fit 96.7, FitFMJA.com, Trelawney's Radio, your life, your music, for exciting features within the diaspora. And hear what's on our minds. It's live at 5 on Fit 96.7, FitFMJA.com.
Good evening.
Hello?
Good evening. How are you, Hortense?
I am very good. And
oh,
you?
Eddie. So who on the phone with me? Eddie?
Yes, I.
Me. Hortense and Eddie.
How are you?
I'm good. Hold on, Eddie. Hold on. Hortense. I am still laughing Hortense, that I actually read that on the public airwaves. Oh, Jesus. I tell you.
No, Pengeling.
Pengeling. Pengeling. That's what they refer to the male genitalia, pengeling. But of course, we have to take it a step further. So we Jamaican take it further and call it teely. Lord. So of course they're saying
And
that
dryland tourists.
and dryland tourists. You never hear them with the arm and the eam.
Yes, we know dryland tourists.
Yes, ma'am.
And the other one, name Joe Grind.
Joe Grind. I tell you, I don't know which community can tell of one who they know.
I tell you.
So hold your thought a minute.
Joe Grind a come.
Right. Eddie?
Yes. How are you?
Not bad. What you up to?
The two richest name in my neighborhood, Halliburton and Pengele.
The two richest...
The two richest people in my neighborhood.
Oh, well, yes, sir.
When they come through the area, it's like they say God. The people rate them, rich people.
Oh.
Halliburton.
See, they know.
So what's up? What's up for the future?
What's up for the future?
Yeah.
Well... Events?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there are so many things on the table. I'll have to name them all. Anything you're interested in?
No, I have to listen and work with that.
You have to listen. All right, so I'll be airing something in a minute. I'm sure you'd like to attend that one. Okay.
East Chester Manor. No, I'm asking if any will be at East Chester Manor.
Well, not immediately.
Okay.
Not immediately. But I'll keep you posted.
I'll be listening.
All righty, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to go over now into any other comments before I go, Hortense? Because my other feature, I want to feature sports now.
I don't
Huh? I'm not hearing you. Pengeling, okay.
No, Pengeling.
I know there would be something in this show this evening. There's a takeaway. I know. Well, blessings. You keep listening. Ambutu. You keep listening, and then if you want to call me back when we start talking, I'm always here for you.
Okay.
All right, my love. That's Hortense and Eddie. Thank you both for calling. And DL had called earlier. I appreciate you. A little of this and a little of that. That's what Inside the Zone is all about. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show. What time is it? 7:22. Don't forget our telephone number is 914-297-8911. I forgot I have an accent for this new telephone number. 914-297-8911. That's 914-297-8911. Sure. I have accent. Oh, you're welcome, Anne. Anne says, thanks for the laugh, Denise. No, it's true. I had a good laugh. The Teely part take the whole show right there. So I'm just going to kick off, of course, this segment here. But before I do that, I'd like to welcome you. Are you celebrating a birthday today? If not, then somebody you know who is celebrating a birthday, happy birthday. It's a wedding anniversary for somebody. When last couples really, really treat each other well? Like you look at your spouse and say, me really glad that you're in my life. Me just appreciate you so. Or couples are just staring at each other blank. The canvas wipe off, clean, nothing on it. When was the last time you really sat down and talked with your partner and say, it's my anniversary today, what will we do with each other? That kind of thing. Happy anniversary to you. And a baby was born somewhere in the world today. We welcome life. So thank you so much for tuning in with me. Don't forget to share the Inside the Zone link with someone and say, hey, Lady D, Onion on, we're over here to talk about all kinds of things. And you can go ahead and tell them what things we've been talking about. But of course, don't forget, the telephone number is 914-297-8911. It's my Calypso Music Thursday today. It's a fourth Thursday feature of the show. And I am broadcasting on CaribbeanVibesRadio.com, Touch FM Radio 90.1, Linkage Radio 101.7 and 104.5 FM, on Linkage Radio's TuneIn app, Fastcast, the number 4, capital U.com. That's fastcast4u.com, and Inside the Zone YouTube channel. Alrighty. Now that we are in the throes of the World Championships, right? And a lot of us, when we were going to, whether it was from basic school or primary school or preparatory school or secondary school or high school, college, university, business house competitions, you name it, we've done things. And I tell people I used to walk about a lot with my, go to people yard, stay long, all of that as a child. I just love, after my chores done, that's me. I'm out in my community, walking all over the place, right? I wasn't a house rat. So I would run to shop. If they send me to shop, I run. If I'm going up to shop, I run. Anywhere you see Denise, I am running or walking fast, but I was just like that, busy. And so when we had our sport competitions at school, where you have the houses, the different houses, and you know, you're with a red house, green house, Mantoc, this and that. I was in Mantoc house. Any house I'm in, always win. So we would get early experiences, you know, of enjoying the races, competing with each other, wanting to see who can run fast. Whether you run in shoes, barefoot, slippers, flip-flop, buck out toenail, all kinds of stuff, we run, right? I've done them all, you know, nail tear off. I was a character. Buck out toenail, everything. Done it, right? And so, by the time now you get to maybe, say, primary school, where in our culture, you know, you have different coaches from different sporting institutions who would come around and they spot children who they can buy to go to a school so that the school can be elevated in the track and field or whatever it is. Cricket, football, you name it, right? Because that's what we do. But before our time, there were some remarkable men and women who had excelled in track and field. And as AG said to me today, that even when you had Arthur Wint, Herb McKinley, all those people who went to the Helsinki Games and, you know, they run before Chevron became a thing, right? Paved, nicely matted field space where you could run on with a pair of spikes. In their time, they were running in a stadium that was dirt, overseas. So I thought of that, you know, and said to myself, as we compare athletes today, and we are saying, oh, this one should have win, and how, and so the rhetoric is out there that, you know, why we lose. We shouldn't lose. Why we make other people win. We live in a world of competition. Every day we're competing for attention, we're competing for a job, we're competing for people to like. We're competing, it's a recurring decimal. We'll always be competing for something in this world. Right? And I pulled up the clip today, and as I watched them again, with almost every single face I could perhaps look at in that stadium back in 1948, is pure white faces I saw looking at these black men running, long legs, stately looking athletes out of Jamaica. I said, but nothing a change really, because we're still commanding attention. Anywhere we go, people know we and know what we're capable of because we have a track record. We have set a precedent. And it's almost like if anybody try to step in our space, we say, where you go? Where you going? What you do over here? That kind of thing. Because we own something. And when you own something, you don't want to let go of it. Nobody should come over here, so it belonged to me. So I'm just going to share an audio for you, visual for me, but a cycle, and just take you back in time to the beginning of Jamaican sprint dominance with Herb and Arthur, and listen to the commentators, and you truly find yourself saying, we always had it. We always had it. 7:30 p.m. Welcome.
While Americans dominated the post-war years in the 100 and 200 meters, their stranglehold on the 400 meters was broken by runners from Jamaica. In 1948, Herb McKenlie had just missed out on a medal in the 200 meters. In the 400, he was the clear favorite. McKenlie's normal tactic was to run as fast as he could for as long as he could and then hold on in the final stretch. But in the last 100 meters, McKenlie was tiring badly, and his teammate, the 6'4" Arthur Wint, beat him to the tape. McKenlie had one final chance for a gold medal in London, the 4x400 meter relay. With McKenlie waiting to run the anchor leg, Arthur Wint was making ground on the American Roy Cochran when disaster struck. Wint pulled a muscle and was forced to stop. The Americans cruised home to an easy gold medal. Wint was inconsolable. He was comforted by McKenlie, whose last chance of a medal at the London Games had gone. 4 years later, in Helsinki, it looked as if his Olympic jinx was going to strike again. Having lost the 100 meters, McKenlie's main opposition in the 400 again came from his compatriots. On the final straight, trailing George Roden, McKenlie left his finishing kick too late. Both runners were given the same time of 45.9 seconds, but again McKenlie had to settle for the silver. At 30 years of age, the 4x400 meter relay would be his last chance of a gold medal. For the close-knit Jamaicans, the same four men for whom things had ended so disastrously 4 years earlier, the task was simple: win the gold for Herb. But as the race progressed, it looked as if McKenlie would once again be the bridesmaid. On the second leg, Gerald Cole ran a tremendous lap for the USA and handed over to Charlie Moore. When McKenlie took the baton from Leslie Lang, he was a full 11 meters behind Moore, and the gold medal was on its way to the USA. To the disbelief of the crowd and the Americans, McKenlie began to gain on Moore in the last 200 meters. McKinley had turned an 11-metre deficit into a slender lead. It was now up to Arthur Wint. McKinley had his gold medal. His phenomenal leg, timed at 44.6 seconds, would have won every subsequent individual Olympic 400-metre title, apart from Lee Evans' Mexico altitude record, until 1976. The Jamaican team smashed the relay record by an incredible 4.3 seconds.
To tell you that I was happy would be an understatement. I mean, to me, it was the culmination not only of a dream, but just everything that I thought could ever be possible.
Alrighty, so as I watched that clip, and perhaps many of you have seen this clip before, it's there. You can always go and find it. But I watched, 2 days ago, the woman in the in the 400 meters. I lost my train of thought, but the Dutch team from the Netherlands. Yeah. Their star athlete, it was Femke Bol from the Netherlands. She was doing so well. And she ran and ran until she just lost wind. She just got so tired by the time she should have reached the finish line and would have won the race. She stumbled and fell. And of course, the US just run past and won the race. And I was looking at Herb, how he had a pull muscle and all those things. And so track and field, as we watch these athletes, believe me, I grew up in a time when I was doing track and field. I went to Vere Technical High School, and my stamina program was to do cross country. They would have runners all over Penance, back of Penance, out into the orange groves of the main thoroughfare, and we would run. And I didn't know anything about no gym, no lifting of no dumbbell, no nothing like that. They just made us run, and we stretched a lot. And that was how we flowed. That was how our training was. We would just run and stretch and run and, all that kind of thing. But as you are watching and hearing how athletes have progressed over time, I wondered what your take is about our sprint factory, Jamaica, our athletic program. Some of our athletes have gone on pro for a lot of reasons. Some of it for economic, they're not on money, they need money. Some have stayed and are still in their high school program, or they are at the GC Foster College, or they are in different clubs like the Shellyans and all those, Sharika, they're all doing well. And as I read the news, when was it, on Monday, that Sha'Carri Richardson had won the 100 meters, shock to many, including herself. That's also is a clear indication that change is constant. It's not going to stay the same way all the time. And that's something I think Jamaicans, we don't like certain kind of changes, especially if we become so familiar with you. And there is a flow in terms of how we reciprocate when you are out on the field, what our expectations are of you, and as the athlete, what the athlete's expectation is of their audience. And that primary expectation is that they're expecting me to win, you know. There's a kind of pressure that is applied. But I believe that our athletes, whether they come first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and if there are 3 additional lanes, ninth, they deserve all the praises. It is not an easy feat to be training and expect to perform at all times, because the accountability aspect of it is very, very demanding. 1, they're accountable to themselves. 2, they're accountable to coach. 3, community, family, everybody. It's a very stressful program that they function in. They might laugh and smile and when they get the medal and so on, but it's not only that. So what do you think of our athletes? Do you have any concerns? Because again, change is constant. Give me a call. Let me hear from you. 914-297-8911. 914-297-8911. Sports commentators, you know, they can talk. They talk a lot. They have to keep talking so that the viewing audience, you know, no move to the next channel pretty much. And I heard one of them saying, oh, you know, it's almost like they're keeping an eye on Sharika because it's like Sha'Carri's in her head. I'm like, which head? Why Sha'Carri should be in Sharika's head? They've been running for the season and Sha'Carri has beat Sharika before. The thing about it is that here they're at the World Championships, and because Sharika is advancing at such a pace that we are in awe that a 400-meter runner could have just merged herself over into the sprint events. That's what's at the core of it, you know. We are still in awe of her ability to do that. But let me hear from you. 914-297. Dale and I have been texting whenever the gamers are on. We are just texting and, you know, watching and doing our own commentary as we are. So, DL, I hope to hear from you. 914-297-8911. Let's see who wants to talk to me first. Good evening. It's Jamaican
Good
Track
evening.
Talk.
Yeah, good evening.
Hello there. MS.
Yes. Yes, speaking.
How do you do, MS?
Well, I've been listening to you. Very interesting program. And I just have a comment about Jamaican athletes.
Okay.
Jamaican athletes have tremendous potentials. Tremendous.
Mm-hmm.
However, many of them do need financial help to keep them up to the level where they need to get to and remain at. So if people here are able to help schools with their athletes, that would be a great thing. Very great thing if people who live here can be of help to these athletes back in Jamaica, because they have tremendous potentials.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Point taken. And you're right, you know, there are, I mean, you and I know that when they're going to events, so it shouldn't really be an event-oriented thing. Meaning, if they're going to an event, you know, sponsorship is needed. And they
It's very important.
Right, and they get sponsorship. But it could be a recurring thing so that it's not only when they're going to the event, but if they have any needs of any kind, that those monies could fulfill those needs.
And I am talking from the day they start primary school into high school.
Mm-hmm.
If they get the right help, you would be surprised to see what the turnaround for athletes in Jamaica would be.
Mm-hmm. Got you.
Tremendous potential.
Yes, I agree with you, MS. Thank you for that. But is there any recommendation? So you've identified a particular area that they need more work on.
Basically, I would just like to say that, like many of the people who have migrated who live here, and they keep in touch with their high school back in Jamaica, it's good that probably we set up a program where we can help to raise funds to help the school to get these athletes into the condition that will be very challenging.
Got you. All right.
Yeah.
I hear you. Thank you,
Good,
MS. All righty. Blessings. Thanks for the
Okay.
suggestion. All righty. 914-297-8911. Do you have a comment to make on the feature? But MS has a point. Now, my high school or alma mater, right? Very technical high school. Annually, there is a dinner dance that we host in November. Hello, welcome. It's Jamaican
Hi.
Track Talk. Yes, sir.
Yeah, just to continue what MS said. Yeah, because when all these youngsters go pro, that's it.
Yes.
That's what they're gonna live off.
The money. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what they're gonna live off.
Yes.
That's what they're gonna live. So they have to have sustainability.
Mm-hmm.
And even before that, while they're building their careers, even go pro, they have to have sustainability.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't afford to have any worry in them head. What I'm going to eat, when I'm going to eat next sneakers, or when I'm going to eat next running shoes, and
Right.
nothing like that. Their heads have to be clear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And that.
I've always.
No, finish your thought. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was about to say that's the same situation that came up several months ago with the Clayton twins.
Yes.
Right.
It's front and center in my brain, in my head.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I've always thought that just like how you have in the diaspora here, you have different sectors, you know, the health sectors, education sectors, agriculture, the security sector, that you have sports and some kind of sports foundation. And then we have a sports foundation in Jamaica, but, you know, that really, really zeroing in on this. And I often wonder about, like, if there was athletes who have been successful and gone ahead, how much, you know, I'm not for one moment here saying that they haven't done anything, just that I may not have heard about it.
Mm-hmm.
So of the continuing, you know, the part of that fraternity,
Yes.
because in effect, they are like an alumni association. They belong to that club.
Mm-hmm.
And, yes, they have the Jamaica Olympic Association. I don't know how wide and deep it is, but all athletes who compete at Olympics should be automatic part of that for the part of the JOA,
Mm-hmm.
and the JOA should be doing things with a view of sustainability, and you know, and as it's come up in the pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about from high school champs and all that.
Yes.
It's all there in front, and of course, you know, again, maybe GC Foster is involved, but I'm just evoking your name.
Mm-hmm.
Really have a solid program, because obviously these youngsters have the ability. They have shown it. They have proven themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, as I even watched the Women's World Cup, I was saying to myself, because some of the athletes have, some of the players have sponsors' name on their shirt.
On their shirts, yes.
Right, because obviously FIFA does not disallow that. Obviously FIFA approves of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying to myself, the athletes are out there and giving some publicity to Jamaica. And I was saying, especially Sandals, such a big international corporation, and trying to, would have had Sandals across their shirt.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing. Because the amount of money I see Sandals in particular.
Oh, yes.
spend on advertisement.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they're advertising on not only just American network, but network like CNN and Fox that reach internationally.
Mm-hmm.
And here you have this team on the international scene. Standards should be embraced across them things.
Yes, ma'am. I agree. I totally agree. Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of thing. Because it's no fluke.
Mm-mm.
It's no fluke.
It is
They are
expensive,
here,
man.
they're doing it.
Yeah. Because I was about
Get
to
in.
mention that's why annually Very Technical High School Alumni Association has their fundraiser, especially for the athletes who are coming up for the pen relays.
Right.
You know, because they know that half of the picnic them who are on the teams and coming don't have it. Their parents don't have it. Like
They
that.
don't. They don't. They have the ability, they are able to, but they just don't have the money.
Right.
You know, because they come here involves a lot.
Yes.
Airline, accommodation.
Yeah,
You have to
man.
eat.
Yes.
It is.
It's a difficult
and, you know,
task.
And that's why Team Jamaica comes in to really help them.
Mm-hmm.
And Jamaica benefits from all of this.
Yeah. Because they get
know.
they get the grand showcase.
Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm.
So, because as you and I know, that here in America, the U.S. Olympic Association, they get their money from private entities and sponsors.
Right.
And people who donate. It's not the government.
No. Yeah.
And it's time that entities in Jamaica come to terms with this and said, look, this is no fluke. They're here to stay,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to be around,
Yes.
and there's value.
Because we don't want to have to relish in the glory days and then they're dying for hunger.
Absolutely.
Yeah, which
Absolutely.
happens. A lot of athletes, you know, professional athletes who, even if they go pro, make the money, we've heard of the disastrous agreements that were entered in on their behalf, or they just go broke, they leave without a penny to their names, you know. So they need to be taught about money, how to manage their money, who is their manager, that accountability system that is in place. Because managers sometimes, because they are managing, they don't want to explain anything. If somebody asks a question, they shut it down right away. So all those things, and sometimes, you know, athletes are just going blindly.
That's true.
They don't know. But, you know, I think as we watch our athletes today and the day closed with our nation and other nations of the world, but we're talking about Jamaica, having walked away with, 2 gold and 1 bronze?
2 gold, 2 silver.
2 gold, 2 silver.
2 bronze and 6.
Right.
Yeah. Triple 2.
You know, I'm saying that's quite a feat. 'Cause there's some nations all now. From day one, they ran out. They don't have no medal to get.
Absolutely, and we have all the others that we get on the other day.
There you go.
Today.
And it ends on Sunday. So we are waiting to see now what more we're gonna get. We're gonna get here.
And we're going to get more.
Indeed. Let's take another call. Hello, welcome to Jamaican Track Talk.
Yes, I'm calling back.
Yes,
MS.
yes, MS.
Yeah, calling back just to make a point. Our diaspora program, our leader down in Philadelphia, we need to talk to her and see what program we can put together to help these athletes.
Oh, you're talking about
He's talking about
Michelle?
Michelle, that's what it is. Yes, all these things will be put to her. Yes, because and she wants to know.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
but MS, you have your down there because you're in the southeast. We're in the
Say that
northeast.
again?
But you have your representative down there in the southeast. You are in the southeast region.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah, well, we'll have to begin a discussion, because any help we can get for these athletes is going to be a beneficial help to them.
Absolutely. So, because people need to remember that they are flesh and blood. Look how many times they can't run a race because they have an injury.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's a cost to that. There's a cost to that, because the therapist and everybody the doctors and this and that and how they have to eat, their nutrition, everything.
That's why I wasn't thinking about that. You're right. I was thinking about them just lucking out of not getting a prize money because they couldn't run.
Yeah, it's
and you're
more
right.
to that.
The medical cost and stuff.
Yeah, because I know that you know that 37% of Jamaica's GDP comes from Jamaicans who live here, who sends money back to Jamaica. 37%.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So it's just a matter of adding a little bit more and see what we do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we need to get on it in a really cogent way,
Yes.
And that's why it's good to segment things. And you know that you have organization that is zeroing on that, target that, But as I said, they need to get them band together more as this broad Jamaica Olympic Association. No matter if them run, for once you put on that spike because it's in Jamaica and an Olympic track.
Yeah.
You are part of the association.
Yes, ma'am. You're representing. Mm-hmm.
Yes, because you always have that to your name that you you competed in the such and such Olympics.
Yes. Because I'm telling you, I got injured. I was doing very well when going to championships and all of that, and then what happened? I'm in the champs and my lead leg hits the center of the hurdle, and I was in track and field at the time when they used iron holders to hold down the foot of the hurdle. And so remember you have to use 2 iron to hold it down, and then it flew up and landed on my foot.
And that was that.
Right, and that was that for me. Yeah.
And how many that has happened to?
Right. And that was the end of my career.
In any event that they do, I mean, and the short circuit, whatever career path they're on.
Right. So, we're just trying to sensitize our listeners and viewers that no matter how high our expectations are of our athletes, they're first human, and they need to be encouraged. Because when you're on that field and looking up in the stands at 30,000 or more people looking at you to see where you're going to be placed, how you're representing your nation, that's a very tall order, something you signed up for, but it's not easy mentally. You go through a lot, butterflies in your stomach. I'll tell anybody, I am always nervous until I come out of the block. I am so nervous. If you touch me, you feel it. I would shake, but once I come out of the block and start running, that's it. All of that goes.
You get going. Yeah. You're in your mode. But I'm going to say this to you. We are here watching through the camera. Right? It's a whole different thing. Not only for those in the stands, but for those for the athlete who is there and out there on the track. I cannot put myself in a position because I've not been there, but I just can imagine. And they're on the track, and this massive human there. And
yep.
And also the whole world is looking at them through TV.
It's difficult. Let me accept a third call. Good evening.
Yeah.
Welcome to Jamaican Track Talk. How are you?
I am good, and you?
Well, Eddie F.
I'm listening to your program, but Lady D, Jamaica has a world record for everything. Miss World competition, spelling bee competition. We get the most, like, points and things, totally. How many Miss World we had already?
They counted four already.
I won Miss Universe.
Yeah.
Spelling bee competition. They banned us one time because we were so brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
God bless
after the
God bless
after the
Jamaica.
Indeed.
yes, after the Olympics in Beijing, China, you know that the Chinese government was sending people to champs in Jamaica to see what Jamaicans were doing to be doing so well. Did you know that?
Yes.
Yeah,
They send people to investigate us. Want to be like us and they cannot be like us. Yeah.
Yeah, we're built of sterner stuff. There's something about us that, you know,
Yes.
if we're gonna do something, we do it exceptionally well. If it's bad,
Yes,
then it's
yes.
really,
Oh, yeah.
really bad. You know, we go to the extreme on both ends.
That's why the colonialists and slave owners knew of our ability and they exploit it.
That's
and
right.
take you into slavery.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, the genes happen to be very strong genes.
Yes.
There's
And
a
when-
cricketer from Jamaica that nobody talk about him, Collie Smith. He was very good.
Oh yeah.
I've heard
Heard
of
about
him.
him.
Mm-hmm.
Heard
Yeah,
about
so
him. Yeah.
We just treat I was in the trench to name after College Smith Drive. Yeah.
Right.
Great cricketer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We need to elevate some names more, and same thing with Charlie Smith. You know who is
Charlie
Smith? You know,
Smith.
Charlie Smith conference. But
Yes.
Charlie Smith wasn't Charlie Smith an athlete too, or footballer, or whatever it was?
I don't remember, but I know.
Yes. Because remember, I think
I've
it was,
heard the name, but I don't know much about him.
I think the school was originally the Trenchtown Comprehensive, and they changed the name to Charlie Smith in honor of Charlie Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And you also as Francis said, Collie Smith arrived the great cricketer.
Right.
So you know.
Because if we were to just highlight just a few of our athletes, like the Shelly Ann Fraser Prize, Merlene Ottey, Usain Bolt, Veronica Campbell Brown, Elaine Thompson Hera, Arthur Wynn,
Donald Quarry,
Asafa Powell, Johan Blake, Dion Hemmings, Lorraine Fenton, Herb McKinley, Don Quarry, Keron Stewart, Grace Jackson, right? Bert Cameron, Michael
Let's go
Freighter.
back to your what name there from Canon College. What is his name again that used to dominate the 800? What is his name again in the days of Azy Crawford and those guys won Torino? What is his name again? Paul Newman.
Okay, me don't remember him.
Cameron's first name. Newman.
Okay.
He used to in the days of Azy Crawford at that era and Juan Torino from Cuba.
Mm-hmm.
Campbell's first name, but there's like great 4 out of 400, 800 athletes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So there are so
Well, you
many.
know, we had Ernie Smith said that my man was a boy to him last night. Couldn't follow him.
Quarry.
Donald Corey was a boy to
Quarry.
him last night.
Yes. We've had some remarkable athletes. Some have walked away really appreciative that they were able to represent their country and that they got something out of it. Some walk away disgruntled. You know.
We forget what her name there. We forget her name there. From your alma mater. What's her name there? Who her into at last time? What's her name again?
No, I mentioned her, Dion.
No, not that one. Her brother is reggae artist. What's her name again? She was a part of that quartet. That one.
You mean the Turner?
Hey, what name? Is Sizzla's sister?
Who? Oh, Sizzla's sister?
Yeah.
Who is that again?
But just recently she was at Team Jamaica big thing.
Oh, and I interviewed her.
No, not Ines Turner.
No, not Inez. No, not Inez. I interviewed Inez and I interviewed, what's her name as well.
Oh my goodness.
When
her
she
name
came
just
for
slipped
it,
me.
her name slipped me. But yeah, I interviewed her as well. So there are several of them who we should really be grateful to. How many of us are now running and can put Jamaica on no map and something? And, you know, in our nation, as a small nation, you say Jamaica track and field or anything else, but particularly in this segment, we're talking about track and field. So we do have high regard for any other disciplines that, you know, people are performing exceptionally well.
Well, the great thing about it is that there is always someone who is popping up and eventually doing well.
That's what I think.
We have a lot in the pipeline coming.
Yeah, man. So eventually, like Shelly Ann will close, you know, bring her curtain down. Elaine will bring the curtain down. Sharika will bring the curtain down. You have the Clayton twins and all those other students out of Hydel and coming out of GC Foster and the boys championships. All of those remarkable young people who are setting records and stuff. Yes, so you know, that chapter will be closed and then here is a new chapter.
Right.
Because when I honestly, when I watched the 100 meters that Shakari won, the final, there's no way when I looked at Shelly that Shelly would have catch up. She just would not have. So at some point, you know, and you know, people make reference to your age after you reach a certain age. The one person I think, as we're closing the show in a few minutes, the one person I think who should have left the sport when she was at her peak, maybe not winning gold medals, is Merlene. Merlene should have left when the going was good, when people would have remembered her and not be so ungracious to her when she became bronze queen and that kind of thing.
We have one more thing to do economically for the country. We've got to step up our GDP so that the financial resources becomes more available to the athletes.
And that's a
Well,
discussion.
let me tell you quickly. You mentioned that Lady D, that you didn't particularly, like they're referring to the athletes who are mothers. And I did say to you, maybe they're saying so to point out that,
their stamina and how good they are despite.
What mother would involve and support them. If you look at children and support and understand that, it's not, to learn from them that you still can go on. And as you talk about Shelly in this race, I mean, Shelly Ann is running against a little youngster, Shakari, and we're talking about a mother. This is, I think, is in that context that they mention it.
Yes.
And she's still there. She's still there. And all this thing about Shakari living rent-free in Sharika's head. That's just
play on words, right?
That's just sports talk. Just like you're watching basketball and the commentators they're talking about the trash talk and all kind of stuff that they game. This is kind of stuff that they are imagining or maybe what they would do, or it's just being caught in a moment of saying, and to sort of make it more compelling. Yes, that Sharika have Shakari on her mind and so forth. So that's commentator sports talk.
Yeah.
Make and also to for excitement and exaggeration and all kind of stuff like that. So
But the one person I think left the sport when he should have is Usain.
Correct.
Usain went on to do amazing things. because
Mm-hmm.
when you get to such a position in track and field, there really is no, as an athlete, there's nowhere else for you to go.
That is why the Chinese people coming to Jamaica to watch, because they can't believe a man could be so good at the Olympics.
But look at Sanya Richards, who we see here commentating now, right?
Right.
I guess as we were talking, whatever happened to what's his name? Sister. Her name again?
Oh, who was doing
Carl Lewis.
Carl Lewis'
Occurred to me
sister.
that-
Yes.
Right, obviously, Sanya Richards replaces her straight off the track, and Sanya Richards involved in one of these housewife franchises. So, you know, they can have a opportunity of going into those kind of stuff. Jamaica, they don't have that.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, basketball players here, male or female, they can go into broadcast, you know, commentary, analysis, and so forth, analysis or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
So we at least don't even have that to look forward to. You know, and, you know, it is...
It's something for them to think about. You know, we are here in this country. We make our own observations. We discuss them. The only way they will know is if we communicate our concerns to them.
Absolutely. That's why, you know, as I've said to you in conversation with you, I've said time and time again, that they should have placed Julia Cuthbert in the sports ministry. You know, so push our health and not put our national security. She put our sports.
Right. I agree.
You know, I mean, stay on and have a synergy with this. You know, because that's where her skill set
strength
lies.
is, yes. Because I'm telling you, when I was in high school, Juliet was going to Morant Bay, I was going to Veer, and we are moving around, running in the same races and something. And she's good.
I don't think Morant Bay High School did ever one girls chance before or even after her.
No.
You know.
No.
But she was single. She won. She led the pack. You know, mobilize, inspire to win. The same thing like, you know, like, remember Jackie Pusey and Derek Small. They inspired St. Mary the athletes and they won girls.
Yep.
And from they left St. Mary,
nothing happened.
Again.
Nothing happened.
From Juliet left, not happen again.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen.
So you see what they can do.
Well, it's been a pleasure catching up here.
But before you go,
yes.
Something to you. I mentioned to you about this black guy who is a part of the crime syndicate that
got locked up.
Still in custody. I learned that, you know, they run as they say, they run your name and they find out that you had an outstanding warrant.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Not good.
Yep. Not good. Had an outstanding warrant. Of course, they're going to run your name there.
Oh.
And voila.
That's
they
unfortunate.
catch him, and he's the only one now who going to be overnight there.
Oh. Oh dear.
Yeah.
All right.
Had an outstanding.
Well,
thank you.
Very informational show. Nice, very nice show, Mr. Day.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Let me say the world.
All right.
Let
Blessings.
me say God bless America and goodbye.
All right, Eddie. Thank you. Have a good evening,
Good
gentlemen. Okay. Bye-bye. All righty. That's a wrap for Center Stage this evening, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. My name is Denise Lady D. Gomez. And the show is brought to you by Cooler Runnings, Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. I am so appreciative of those of you who spent the time to listen, to watch, and to call me. I appreciate it. What would I do if I just came here and talking to myself? I would be in trouble. But thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm looking forward to being back on Monday with the Monday Drive, keeping you in the know in the city you walk, drive, and reside. A lot of love and blessings to you. And remember, your children are your responsibility. Children who you continue to support in everything. You care for them, you clothe them, you feed them, so on. When they feel as though they're becoming grown adults before their time, rein them in a bit. You don't have to batter them, but just rein them in a bit. And remind them that there's a big world out there. And if they're not prepared for that world, it will suck them in. And when it does, it leaves them lost, frustrated, suicidal, everything that's negative. That's what the world will do to them. So remind them to enjoy their lives at the stage in which they are and not wait to get old too quickly. Blessings. Enjoy your weekend. May I go on up now. May I go along up. May I go up. And oh, Lord, I forgot to mention that on Sunday, I had a beautiful time with my Auntie Daphne. I forgot to tell you guys. I went to look for Auntie Daphne. Auntie Daphne looked so good. She looked so good. She looked so good. I helped to comb the hair because part of the cornrow that they had done was becoming loose. So I do the cornrow. I say, you don't see your hair want to comb. So she laughed. What I observe in all of this is of humor that has not gone anywhere. However, when I walk up to you, do you know who I am? And she look up and she laugh. I say, it's Lady D. But, you know, she's in her own world, having her own conversations. But I just stay there when she's talking and talking. I say, yes, ma'am. So what we're going to do about that now, right? And she laughed. But she can't call me by name. That part of her brain still has not returned to its normal mode of how it operates. But my joy is that she's here and she is able to just talk. There's no slurring, no nothing like that. She laughed, and I can see her as I remember her, to a point when she and I would laugh about something or we find something funny. When I would visit her prior to all those things that happened to her, you know, I would stop by. You know, we built something, and so she's there. A part of Auntie Daphne is still there. And so I did the hair for her, fix her up, I hug her up, and she's able to understand that when she realized that the left side, which was affected, the hand, because she was sitting in her wheelchair outside of her room, and you know, the other residents are moving around, and the people seem to be very courteous to her. And I can only say thank God for these people taking care of people who need care in these facilities. But she is okay. It's just that that part of her memory still is not better. So again, if at any time you may see her, she's having her own conversation, but she only wants to know she sees somebody. And I think human connection is so important, and how you relate. So if I just keep talking to her and say, where is my Sunday dinner? I'm here on a Sunday. Why you don't give me anything to eat? And so she burst out in laughter. I say, you're sending me back home to go cook. And she laughed. You know, those kinds of things. I'm like, Daphne, come on now. I journeyed all the way here, you know, and she looked at me one at a time, and then she pushed up her mouth and burst out a laugh. So she's there, you know, and I just ask you to pray for her when you remember Auntie Daph. And I'm hoping to go back, not this Sunday, but the next Sunday, because Sundays are better for me. On my way home from church, I just go by. But I was so encouraged just seeing her as opposed to a few weeks ago when I saw her. So that's my update on Auntie Daphne. But I know we all miss hearing her, knowing that she's not how she used to be, but she's not worse than she could have been. So God bless and keep you, everyone. And, you know, as I was leaving, man, I hug her up and I pray over her, and she say, amen, hallelujah. And we there in the people, them little passageway, rejoicing and carrying on. But it was good, and I left her with God's prayer and covered her. So blessings. Me go on my yard now. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. It was my pleasure being here to host the show Inside the Zone.
Cooler Runnings Restaurant and Cargill Community Project presents our ultimate One Love End of Summer Fish Fry on Saturday, September 2nd, 2023, to be held at Cooler Runnings Jerk Center, 1785 Nerid Avenue in the Bronx, starting from 12 p.m. until 8 p.m. Ticket donations are $30. All proceeds go to the Cargill Foundation for our annual free Thanksgiving dinner in November. With your donation, your choices are steamed fish, escovitch fish, Rasta pasta, bami, tonkan meal, and the list goes on. For tickets and more information, you can call Cooler Runnings Restaurant at 718-324-7484, or you can contact our board member, Ian, at 347-549-0209. Once again, that's Ian at 347-549-0209. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is Cooler Runnings and Cargill Community Project End of Summer Fish Fry. You can't afford to miss. To miss is to diss. Make it a date, and you better not be late. See you there.
10 p.m. We have the most Jamaican flavors: grape nut, pistachio grape nut, rum and razor, Jamaican rum and razor, sour milk ice cream, sugar-free ice cream, stout ice cream cake, peach grape nut, and more. Also check out Papa Deli's right next door when you talk about jerk chicken, jerk pork,